Hi, welcome to the first tutorial for the Application Collection and Review module for ResearchLogix. This module is currently available only for CCSG module of the platform. In this tutorial, we'll be covering a few things: creating your first application form, setting basic information, assigning a point of contact for questions, assigning an administrative contact for notifications of submissions, creating a welcome page for your form, creating a confirmation page for your form, and creating custom questions for your application. So let's get started. First, to access the application tool, you can access that from Tools in the CCSG module. So the first part of this tutorial is creating a brand new form. To access all of your existing or to create new forms, click Manage Forms. To create a new form, click Create New Form. This is going to open up a modal so that you can supply some information, including the form name and the application type. Presently, we have two options available: CCSG membership and trainee application. Optionally, you can enter the information about a brief description in regards to what this form or application is going to be used for. To save some time, we've already created a new form. We've entitled this CCSG Membership Application. So let's go ahead and go into the information page to see what we've added. The information page is going to consist of metadata for the specific application. So we can see that we've entered in the name, so you can change that at any time. The brief description can also be edited, as well as the application type. Presently, we have this set as inactive. When set as inactive, it's not going to be accessible from the web. So let's go ahead and set this to active. When you've made the changes, please be sure to click Save. Another thing to note is the application link. This is going to be a dedicated link for the form that you've created. This is what can be used if you're going to send this out via email or if you're going to post this onto a website. This is the dedicated link for this specific form. So this covers how to manage the information about your membership application. Next, we're going to focus on creating a point of contact and an administrative contact. Let's go and navigate to Review Settings. So you can see that we have two options here. We have a primary point of contact and administrators. The point of contact is going to be the primary point person whenever there's any questions that need to be asked about the application or the review process. This is really just for display purposes only. So we're just going to go ahead and enter in a generic person here. So Joe Smith, and he is an administrator. And then enter in their email address. And again, this is just for display purposes only. Make sure to click Save after entering that information. You'll get a confirmation here at the top. Next, we have Administrator. This can be one or multiple people who are going to be notified when new applications are submitted. This administrator lookup tool is tied directly to members and administrators for the account. You can use this IntelliSense tool to automatically add them and apply them to the ResearchLogix profile, which will allow them to gain access to this tool and will also be notified when new submissions are recorded. By using an email address or searching by last name, comma, first name, you can select the individual who will be notified. You can add as many people as you would like for this. Next, we're going to create a welcome page for the form. To do this, go to Actions and then Welcome Page. The welcome page is what is going to be presented to the applicant whenever they first access your form. You want to be sure to include certain things like what is going to be required of them as far as the questions that you're going to ask, and possibly any documents that you're looking for them to be able to upload. It's really totally up to you on what you want to have on this display page. There's several different options to be able to format this so that it looks the way that you'd like it to be. When you're happy with how it looks, you can go ahead and click Update Page. You can always go back to this and make any edits as needed. To create a confirmation page, navigate to Actions and then click Confirmation Page. Just like the welcome page, this is going to be message that's going to be displayed to them on the page after they've completed the application process. You can include any information that you feel is relevant that you would like to present to them after the completion of the form. When you're happy with how it looks, make any edits and then go and click Update Page. You'll also receive a confirmation message here at the top when it's been saved. Next, we're going to create our questions for the application. These are going to be questions that will be displayed to the applicant on the second page after proceeding from the welcome page. To add questions, go to Application Questions, and you'll have a single point of entry to enter each question line by line. By default, ResearchLogix will capture the first name, last name, and email address, so there's no need to create fields for these questions. We're just going to add some sample questions here just to populate our application. The question that you ask can be formatted any way that you like using the editor available. The question description is just additional information that you may want to supply that will show up directly underneath the question's text. Questions can have a variety of responses. We've provided a couple of sample options here: single line, multiple line, select box, editor, which is the what you see is what you get, which is similar to what this form is right here, and a date. We're going to enter a select box for this. When selecting the select box option, it will provide options for you to be able to populate within the select box. You can also indicate whether a question is required or not. When you're happy with the options that you've entered for each question, please be sure to click Save Question. After saving, you'll be able to see it under Current Questions on the right-hand side. You'll be able to see the type of response that is going to be selected and also whether it's required or not. For select options, you'll see the options that you currently have available. If you need to go back at any time and make any changes, you can always do that by clicking Edit underneath, and that will present the opportunity to be able to make any necessary changes. Again, please be sure to save the question after you've made your changes. For the second question, I'm just going to add a editor, which is the what you see is what you get. This is going to allow the person to be able to enter a formatted text. Next, for certain applications, you might want to require documents for the user to be able to upload. So let's navigate to Documents. For our example application here, we're going to require them to upload an NIH BioSketch. For the document name, enter in NIH BioSketch. And if you want to provide a brief description, you can do so from Brief Description. You can also indicate, similarly to the custom questions, whether it's required or not. For this particular example, we're also going to ask them for a research summary statement. And we won't require this one. You can see similarly how we have the custom questions, the document request will appear along the right-hand side. This will allow you to be able to manage this if you have any changes in the future. So this completes the first tutorial for the application setup. Our next tutorial will go over the view from the applicant themselves. where the questions that we've added and the documents that we've required will be presented to them in a way so that they can interact and provide the information that you're requiring for a successful application submission.